Hi, I'm Bo Huffman from the Hastings and Kearney GNCs. We're here to help you live well each and every day. So whether you're looking for a good quality multiple vitamin for the family, a fish oil for your overall health and wellness needs, to sports nutrition, weight loss, whatever your goal, we're here to help you live well each and every day.
Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Hub, brought to you by GNC. I'm your host, O'Gara. This is Nathan Hart. We have a new season upon us. It's basketball season. Nathan, we're a couple of Indiana alums. We love our basketball season. This is our kind of area. This is in our wheelhouse. So we're going to get right to it. We have a 4-3-2-1 preview. That's 4 players to watch. We got 3 teams to watch, 2 coaches to watch, and 1 bold prediction from each of us. So let's get right into it. We have both of our players of the years returning this year. How about that? It starts with Rachel Jeldon from Holdridge.
Yeah, that's pretty rare to have players of the year coming back. Rachel Jeldon is one of those. She averaged a double-double last year for Holdridge. The question this year is how can she outdo herself?
Really?
She's got a bunch of talent surrounding her, but she's gearing up for another monster season.
She definitely is. And Kearney Catholic had a monster season last year. This year, though, it's a very different casting crew. Allie Prasowski does return.
Yeah, Allie Prasowski last year was one of the starters on the team that made the Class C1 runner-up. This year, she's the only one left of that group. So her role is really changing from just being one of them to being the leader. And she's only a junior this year, but she's really being asked to carry the load for this Stars team as they look to replace a lot of their players from last season.
And on the boys' side, Riley Reinertson returns, of course. The All-State selection, 23.7 points a game last year. He had a monster year, led Gibbon to a quarterfinal loss. But the question around Gibbon, as always, can they get height? They saw what happened when they don't have height in that quarterfinal matchup. They ran into a much bigger Kimball team, and it's going to be about if Riley can get a little bit of help on the inside too. They're going to look to Dakota Kenton to step up and Ryan Newar to step up, and Ryan Milks, of course, on the outside. So Riley Reinertson definitely in for another big season. Brian Arp, how about Brian Arp from Kearney High? A guy that missed all of last year with a broken leg. He is going to return to the Bearcats this year and establish a post presence. He is 6'4", 260 pounds. We saw what he can do on the football field when he is healthy. He is going to give Damian Austin a nice option to throw into. Of course, he's going to be able to kind of work the perimeter too and get Dakota Schreiner, Peyton Pocock involved in the long range game. So Bearcats get a new element this year, and they definitely get some added muscle. So we definitely have some interesting players to watch this year. And our teams to watch, it's got to start with Minden. C1 quarterfinal appearance last year, and they return a ton of talent from that team. Of course, the Kissinger sisters, but guess what? There's another one. Taylor Kissinger, 6-foot wing player. She is going to add a whole nother dimension to this team. Of course, Becca Stewart, the returning post player, she's only a sophomore this year. That team is going to look to get to that next level. They want a state championship. Brooke and Jamie Kissinger are seniors this year, and this is their time to shine. They believe they have what it takes to do that. The big question with them is going to be, can they use that length on defense to be able to shut down some teams? So Minden definitely has some big aspirations. Who else we got? We got Southern Valley.
Well, you got a couple Division I bound stat stuffers on Minden. Another couple stat stuffers on Arapahoe. They're coming back with 3 returning starters, including Kaylee Watson, who averaged 20 points a game. Rochelle Winland, led Class D1 in rebounding last year. A couple stat stuffers. They made the state tournament last year as an 8 seed, but then got blown out in that first game against Guardian Angels. They're really motivated to make it back and do better. The 3 returning players all said that's their goal. That's been their goal from the moment they lost last season. We'll see how the Warriors can do to achieve that goal this year.
Yeah, and I got a little ahead of myself talking about Southern Valley. But Southern Valley loses Spencer Kuchera, Dakota Best. That team returns a ton of athleticism. I think that's really important. Hunter Quinn, Alex Kopp, Dylan Brooks, Jeremiah Perkins, Seth Miller, all coming back for this team. And they really don't want to skip a beat. John Miller is going to have that team ready to go at the beginning of the season. Tough early part to their schedule, but they believe that they have what it takes to not necessarily play in that half-court style. They believe they have the athletes to kind of stretch teams out and just be able to use that athleticism to get to the basket. So definitely going to be an interesting thing to see if these teams can get back to Lincoln. I think that's the big question. And we have 2 new coaches to the area. Not coaches that are necessarily on the hot seat, but coaches that are going to look to make early impressions with their teams.
Yeah, first with Holdridge, we talked about them, but BJ Blaze takes over for the girls program. Here's a team that's made the state tournament 9 years in a row, an experienced team, and then they got a new coach. So they're working through the transition of that. Coach said he's got some quick learners on his team. They're learning the drills. They're learning his system. He's an experienced coach. He's had a decade of coaching experience. He's been a head coach. He was most recently the boys varsity assistant at Grand Island Senior High. He just has the look and feel of a head coach, and we'll see how the transition works with Holdridge going into the season.
Plenty of talent to work with.
Plenty of talent to work with. Also down the street with Kearney Catholic. It's not so much a coaching change. You walk in and it doesn't look that much different.
Yeah.
Scott Carlin, though, is taking over. He's been an assistant the last few years for Don Lease. Don Lease is stepping down after a long career. But Don Lease is still around. He's helping out with the program. And now Carlin is just the head coach. The system's the same, the program's the same, the vocabulary's the same, just a new face. A little different, but pretty much the same as always with Kearney Catholic Stars.
Yeah, so two teams that are definitely going to look to not necessarily lose a beat. Two teams
Yes,
that were
very
successful
much so.
last year. So definitely a little bit of pressure for those coaches to come in and really pick off where some good coaches before them left off.
Yeah. We'll wrap up the preview with one bold prediction each. For me, that's looking at Kearney Catholic and saying they will do just fine despite all the talent that they lost from last year. They did lose a lot of talent, but they are returning players. They got some playing time last year, and you got Whitney Colling and Madison Squires and Shayla Connor and Allie Prasowski. All these people are used to playing varsity basketball. They're also winners. They're winners from volleyball. They're winners from basketball last year. These players know how to win. This team will do just fine. They may not dominate as much as the team did last year, but Kearney Catholic is going to be just fine on the basketball court on the girls' side.
And if volleyball isn't any indication, we probably shouldn't be underestimating Kearney Catholic. This team definitely showed that they are more than capable. And a team that would love to get on Kearney Catholic's level, Eustis Farnham. How about the way that they ended their D2 season? They end up losing in a district semifinal, but this is a team that showed a lot of promise at the end of the season. The Johnson twins, two seniors this year, really took over and kind of took control of that team last year, led them to an FKC tournament championship. And really, this team was probably a few plays away from making that push to a district final, lost to a really good Brady team. And this year with the Johnson sisters returning, I think that they're going to have enough to get over the hump. They are going to have the ability to get to Lincoln, and I think this is a team that can make state. That might sound a little bit crazy for a team that was 7-8 going to the conference tournament last year, but I think this team has what it takes to get it done. So everybody's going to try and get it done. That's the goal right now. Everybody's got their sights set on Lincoln, playing in the new Pinnacle Bank Arena. Everybody wants to get there come March, but for now, this is December, and we'll be here providing you with Sports Hub coverage every single week. Follow us on Twitter at CJ O'Gara, at NM Hart, at Sports Hub blog. I messed that up last time, didn't I? I got it right this time, though. So for Connor O'Gara and Nathan Hart, this has been the Sports Hub brought to you by GNC. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.